2.
So we're going to be plating now. This is kind of the end of the cloning cycle, or the beginning, if you want to. Depends how you think about it. Basically, what's happened is we've transformed some sort of DNA in here, either plasmid DNA, or maybe we put some ligation, or it could be a single WAN, or whatever it is. We have cells that have taken up new DNA, and we're going to be selecting for the take-up of this new DNA by plating them on selected media. So in this case, we're going to be plating on ampicillin and kanamycin, and the cells that originally that were transformed into did not have any ampicillin or kanamycin, and now they're having a plasmid that does have that on there. So in order to do that, we have 2 samples, and you always want to keep track of what everything is. So we have sample 1 is going onto plate 1, sample 2 onto plate 2. You want to make sure that your plates are very well labeled. So we have this, we have a cell strain, we have the vector, we have the temperature that it's going to be plated at. This plate is going to be put at 30 degrees, which is very important because we have a temperature sensitive origin here. So, and we're going to be plating all of this. So I'm going to be taking my P1000. I can just set my P1000 to the full 1000 and draw up all of that liquid. I'm going to get a few bubbles, doesn't really matter. And I just kind of eject it into the corner right there, close it up. And I should have my flame on right now. I forgot about that. So turn on the flame. Putting my cell spreader into this ethanol right here. Sorry, this is all out of order. And back to pipetting our cells onto the plate. So sample 1 has been pipetted onto the plate, and sample 2 is also going to get pipetted now. So we can just draw up all that liquid. I'm going to pipette it into that corner. Double check and make sure I got it all. Yep. And now to spread it, we need to make sure that our cell spreader is sterile. So it gets stunk in alcohol. Kind of shake it off a little bit. You're going to want to light it on fire. And then it's very important not to put it back over here, because you might get a drop of ethanol that spills back in there. And then after it's been lit, you just want to put it back in there one more time. I would just do this a couple times for the first round. So, light it on fire. So actually, what happens if this does light on fire? Quick little safety lesson. So this light's on fire. If I'm stupid, I light this on fire. Then I go in there, oh god, what do? I just cap it. The fire burns itself out, there's no oxygen, and I can now test, make sure it's out, and we're good to go. So this thing is nice and sufficiently sterile. So I'm going to open my plate up, and you can see that I have my liquid at the bottom. So what I do is I hold my plate so the liquid cools where I squirted it out, and then I like to do an initial kind of spread just at the bottom, so we have very, very dense culture there. And then from there, I kind of flame it off, and I try to do a dilution series with my spreader. So I'm spreading up, and then depending on how you hold that, you'll be able to see the reflection of where it's spreading. So I'm going to change the angle so I can see. Okay, so I can see that I kind of did a Richter scale-like pattern, and that the line ended right around there. So I'm going to flame it off again, and I'm going to try to hit the top of that line. So again, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make a dilution series here, so that if I have a very dense ligation or transformation, such that I would have a lawn there, hopefully one of these dilutions will give me single colonies that I can pick from. So I'm going to flame off one more time. I'm just going to keep on doing that. So again, I'm kind of on my 3rd dilution here from the original. Flame off last time, and then I'm going to do my 4th dilution. And I don't know if you can kind of see that with the right angle. Can you see the reflection there? Okay. And then, so that's kind of my dilution. But then the paranoia gets the best of me, and I'm thinking, okay, well, what if I just get a bunch of colonies down there, and that is the right dilution? So what I do is I just kind of stick my spreader back into that huge thing of liquid, and I just do a couple of big ones just like that, just in case, but not too thick, so that if it is a lawn, then I'm still going to have individual colonies in between. So that's plate number 1, and I want to re-sterilize, so I just drop my spreader in there, and I'm going to air dry my plate by putting it right next to that flame. If you have like a box you can put it on top of to level it, to put it at a higher, it'll dry a little bit faster. And I always put my liquid that I squirted out where it's the most dense towards the flame so it evaporates more quickly. So I'm going to grab the box and put it right there. And again, you can see that there's a pool. It's still wet. You don't want to put wet plates in the incubator. So bad practice. And then I'm going to flame off my spreader again. Now, I said that you don't want to hold this flaming thing over the alcohol. You also don't want to hold it over your cells because you might get a flaming ball of alcohol landing on your plate, and then you get a nice little patch of death. So we like to avoid that. Oh, also what I'm going to do is, this is a plate top for that. I'm just going to flame that off real quick and put it over there. So I'm kind of covering the end, so if any bacteria or fungus fall on there, hopefully it'll hit the top. So we're going to repeat that same process. I'm just going to put the alcohol up. So I squirted my media out there. There's kind of the outline. So I'm going to squirt it out. And my initial spreading. And I'm going to flame off real quick. Then I'm going to do my first dilution. Flame it off. Do my second dilution. And kind of the finer movements that you can get between this, so the closer these little squigglies are to one another, the better. So here's another one, so that's kind of 4. And if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. You just kind of want to get a general hit on all of them. So I'm just going to kind of end it up like that, and I'm going to do that last little general spread. So put that down, put my spreader back in there, and I want to dry this, but I'm running out of room, so what I'll do is I'll sterilize that one more time. Close up my alcohol so I don't get any fires. I don't want to knock this over because that would be disastrous. I'll move this off to the side, or actually, I'll use my alcohol. I'll use my alcohol as kind of the thing to levitate this. So again, I can kind of see where the media is. You can see that there's some pools right around there. I'm not sure if the angle is right for you, but I want that pool to be facing the flames. So I'm going to balance it right there. The top on top of it, and let that dry for about 5 to 10 minutes, and you're done spreading. Final step is to take off your gloves. Kind of a side note, how I like to take off my gloves, if you have anything toxic on here, is I will take my left hand. I'm right-handed, so I'll take my bad hand and I'll grab on my right hand, kind of grab it so I'm not touching any skin, pull it off, and now I hold it in a fist like this, and I'm going to grab my right hand and grab underneath that glove, and then pull it off so that I can completely grab the inside and I'm not touching anything at all. So that's plating and removing gloves.